Okay, story time. I have two friends. We're gonna call one Abby and the other one Becca. Abby and Becca. Okay, so two friends. First with Abby. Um, Abby, I had recently met when I went to a cabin trip, and we ended up there because of a mutual friend. So, sweetheart, beautiful inside and out, hard worker, gorgeous, gorgeous chocolate. So, Becca, I've been knowing since basically middle high school. Um, she moved to another state. Um, I think she had been gone for a while. Hadn't spoke to her in about 10 plus years, 10 years, something like that. And then when she came back around, yeah, like 10 years. Then she came back around. Everything was cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There was some things that was a little sketchy about it. We was like, but it's like okay, and we that friendship started to rekindle, so everything was good. So one day, um, I Abby was gonna come over. We was just gonna chill at the house or whatever, enjoy ourselves. Just have a little girls' night or whatever. And she was gonna come once she got off work and after she took care of her niece because she takes care of her niece. So I was like, okay, cool. Just let me know when you're on the way, and we'll be good. And she was like, okay. So in the midst of me waiting for Abby, I get a call from Becca. Becca tells me that, hey, me and the girls are on the way, or whatever. And I'm like, on the way. She was like, yeah, because she lives in another state. So she's like, yeah, we already on the road. We on the way. So I'm not going to turn her away, especially she has her kids or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. And they was just going to come and chill or whatever. And then I think it was going to go see her daughter's father or something. I can't remember. So I was like, okay. So Becca got here before Abby did. Becca and her kids. So Becca and her kids was here. We enjoying ourselves. They interacting with the kids or whatever. And we were drinking our wine, just talking, laughing or whatever. My husband, he's just like, women, whatever. So we ended up outside on the front porch because it was a nice day, cool breeze, everything. I had my blanket. She had her blanket. We was just out there chilling, relaxing, good vibes. So then Abby called and she was on the way and cause I think she had got lost like once or twice. So I called her and I was like, what? When she told me what street she was on, I was like, yeah, you're right around the corner, whatever. I said, when you come, it's gonna be quick. You may pass it, but turn in or whatever at the subdivision. So she's like, okay. So she did. She got here, said hey to her. She said, hey. I had already when she called me and told me what street she was on. I went in the house and got her a glass of wine and brought it outside. And she came. She said hey to everybody. Gave everybody hugs, including Becca. Everything was said hey to the kids, say hey to my husband, because my husband knows who she is and everything. So we all talking, girl talk. I gave her a glass of wine and we was talking and everything. And then my husband came outside and he was smoking a cigar over on the side. So we was talking and Becca started bragging about her man. So I didn't say anything because I already know who he is. So I was like, oh, maybe she doing it for Abby. I don't know. So they was talking or whatever, and my husband he didn't know either. So he was like, "Oh, okay. So now I'm interested. You talk about it. So he doing so. What's his name?" So she said his last name, and Abby said, "Are you talking about?" We're gonna call him Charles. ABC Charles. Are you talking about Charles and the last name? And Beck was like, "Yeah." And me and my husband looked at each other and we was like, because in my mind, I'm thinking Abby's going to say she's sleeping with Charles, like, like that. So Becca was like, well, how do you know him? And Abby stood up and was like, I can't fucking believe this. So now we're all like, what is going on? What's wrong? Yo, she turned around and said that Charles molested her and other friends of hers while they was in middle school. my mouth, what? Like, that's not where we thought it was. That shit, like, that was not what we thought was gonna be said. Like, what the, what the, what the fuck just happened? So then I look at Becca. I mean, I don't know. He is way older than you by like, I want to say he older than her like 13 years, I think. But and he was a teacher, and I'm just like, and I don't, I mean, what? So Abby, so I need to leave. I get it. I need a shot. I need a shot. Do you have something in it? And she went past Becca because it was her, Becca, and then I was sitting in front of Becca on my front porch when we had like the chairs or whatever, and then my husband was standing up over the side by the garage smoking his cigar. He even heard everything. But she walked past her and went in the house, and she was like, I need, and my husband looked at me like, go help her, you know. So I ran behind her. Well, I was already getting up, but I ran behind her, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She's like, "I just can't fucking believe. I can't believe. Like, I never wanted to relive that in my life. I just, oh my fucking god." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I did not know that was gonna happen. I did not know. I I didn't know y'all was connected in that way. I didn't know, you know." And she's like, "No, no, no, you couldn't have known because I didn't tell you. I never told anybody about that because it's something that I don't really like talking about because it still hurts me." You know, she was like, eyes watering and everything. And then she was like, "I need something stronger than the wine. Can you give me, I just need something." And she was shaking. And I was like, "Oh my God." So I had some vodka. I can't remember what kind it was. No, it was dark. It was dark. And I gave it to her, and she took like, I think she took about 2 shots, and she was still talking, and it was just like, and I was like, "Okay, I need you to calm down. I just want you to calm down. Please calm down." And I was like, "Just calm down and talk to me. Just calm down." So I stayed in the house with her for as long as it took, cause whatever's on the porch, my husband's there. They, know each other, whatever. Cause I need to make sure she's okay because I didn't want her, like, I really just wanted her to calm down. I didn't want her to start hyperventilating, and then I mean, I know CPR and all that good stuff, but if I can calm you down, let's get your anxiety levels down. Let's. So she got to a point. She made her a cocktail, and we went back after she said she needed to leave. So I was like, okay, um, maybe she'll leave because you've been drinking. I mean, she had just took the shot, so but I don't know. Um, And I was like, "Do you want me to drive you home? Stay on the phone with me, whatever." And she went back outside, and because she left her, purse and stuff on the porch where she was sitting, and she just asked Becca straight up, "How could you not know you fucking a pedophile?" And I was like, okay. So she was like, "Well, I didn't know about it." They had a little conversation. It wasn't like a rah 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 girl fight. It was like a grown woman conversation that they had. And then Becca was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I need to leave." Abby was like, "I need to leave." They left. Um, Abby left first. I was like, "Do you want me to stay on the phone with you? You want to call me or whatever?" She's like, "No, no, no, I'm okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave." Because by the time she had calmed down a lot. So then Becca was like, she need to leave, her and her girls or whatever. They was gonna go ahead and go to their hotel or whatever. So I was like, "Okay, do you need to call me, talk to me or whatever?" She's like, "I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna call you." I was like, "Okay." So she left. She left. Abby called me. Abby called me the next day and let me know that she had basically had a breakdown on the side of the road, and she was crying. She had to pull over. She was crying, but she got herself together or whatever. And so we talking. She was like, "How could she not know?" She still didn't understand. Like, how could she not know? How could she not know? And that was a question that I could not answer because I'm not. Becca. So, but the night before, Becca called me a couple times, and I was like, "Listen, you gonna have to figure it out because that is your relationship. I'm not gonna get into your relationship." And she was like, "But what would you do?" Now, see, at this point, you don't ask me what would I do, so therefore, I'm going to tell you what the fuck I would do. And I said the relationship would be over because me being in your shoes, and I have two daughters, I would end the relationship. She was like, "But no, he begs me not to leave him with my kids. He don't want me to ever leave him alone with my girls." And I'm like, bitch, that was a sign. That was a fucking sign. He don't want you to leave him with your girls. But you talking about y'all gonna get married. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I told her, I said, well, that sounds like a sign to me. To me, that sounds like a sign that he don't want to be left alone with your girls. It got to be a reason why he don't want to be left alone with your girls. She's like, he won't even watch them if I go to work and this and other. Okay, well, again, darling, that sounds like a sign to me. As a mother of three girls and one boy, if I'm with somebody and he say, please don't leave me alone with your kids, we can no longer be together. Because I don't know what's in your mind. Is it sexual? Or you're a murderer? You know what I'm saying? Sex trafficking? You gonna sell my children? You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it personally. That would have been the end of the relationship for me. Because at the end of the day, my kids' safety, their mental and their physical is way more important to me than me being in a relationship with somebody who don't want to be left alone with them. He could be with them while I'm with them, but not alone with them. That's not a good sign. It's not cute, and it's not funny. So no, sir. That would have to be the end of that relationship. So after I guess she talked to him, whatever, she said he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. You know. Then after she told me about that, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, like I said, it's your decision. Fast forward a couple years, she haven't talked to me, no conversation, blocked me on all social media or whatever, and I didn't find out about it until recently because I didn't know. Because at the end of the day, if we've been friends as long as we've been friends, and something happened to your girls, I'm gonna treat it as though that was my family. You know, those babies didn't ask to be here. So whatever your fun night was when you was creating them has nothing to do with you taking care of them because they did not ask to be here. Take care of your fucking kids. Their mental, their emotional, their physical, everything a child should be protected. If you're going through an issue with your baby dad and everything, that has absolutely nothing to do with your children. Protect them. So if you got a random nigga who you ain't had no children by telling you that he don't want to be left alone with your children's safety comes first. In my opinion. Just me. I don't know, everybody may not feel like that. So fast forward years later, found out they don't block them on social media. She don't want to have no conversation with anybody. So it was three of us that all hung out together. So the other person, she talked to her. She was like, well, why did you cut me off? I ain't had nothing to do with it. So she's like, well, I knew that if being friends with you, you wasn't going to leave Shell alone. You're not just going to stop talking to Shell. And I don't want to hear anything negative about my relationship. Number one, that sounds like some bullshit. How you gonna be mad at me and take it out on somebody else? You weren't a friend to begin with. Again, just my opinion. Number two, she told her why she was mad at me. You're mad at me because you felt like I set you up for that conversation between you and Abby. Okay. I had only known Abby for a couple months by then. We had not gotten into sexual assaults, rapes, molestation, pedophiles. Like, we hadn't gotten into that conversation. Because, again, that's her personal fucking business. I don't go in asking people for their business. Have you ever been raped before? Has a motherfucker ever touched you down there where you look? I don't do that. I don't do that. So I did not know. I had no clue that she even had been through anything that traumatic. So I did not know. You wanted to talk about your man. His name was revealed. Last name was revealed. And she called out his whole name. And you asked her, how did she know him? Now, me and my husband thought that she was going to say they was, dibbling and dabbing too. Like oh, that's my man. We sharing the same man type situation. We did not know that it was going to go left field, around the corner, down the street, around another corner, and into the fucking ocean. We did not know it was going to go that goddamn far. We had no fucking clue. So how the fuck was you set up? Then when I asked her a question before she stopped talking to me, I asked her a question. I was like, well, have you ever heard of anything like that while he was teaching? Well, I heard that when he was at the first school, such and such happened, and apparently he supposedly had got caught, and then they moved him to another school, and then such and such happened there, and then he ended up losing his teaching license, and then he moved to the state. So what it sounded to me like, you been new, you just upset that somebody called you out on it. That's what it sounds like to me. But don't try to make yourself feel good by saying Shell set you up for shit. You don't want to talk to me? Baby, you ain't doing me no favors. Because I had been cut ties with you. You was never woman enough to say why, but I already knew. The only part I did not know is that you felt like I set you up. How? How was you set up? Now, if I wanted to be real nasty, I could have put all your shit out there on the streets, all out in the streets, if I wanted to be real nasty about your relationship with him. But I'm not that type of person. All the people that he inboxed and still to this day trying to slide in their bed, that's none of my business either. Because you so gullible to the point that you don't even give a fuck about your own children's life. You don't give a fuck about if anything happened to them. Y'all been together for years. And that man still won't move in with you because he don't want to be left alone with your kids. You need to stop talking to your damn self. You need to stop talking to your damn self. Maybe you'll catch something to happen. Should have hit you in the side of your fucking skull or something. You need to stop talking to yourself so you can figure some shit out. But it is what it is.